Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried, and this is for Rushmore Podcast. Look good, feel good, enjoy.
Bitch.
You get started?
I said bitch.
Welcome to the Rushmore Podcast. My name is Thomas.
My name's Pepper. This week we have Steve fucking Cantwell. You'll listen to it. You'll hear it. Before you listen to this all the way through, go check out all 3 of his fucking episodes on the Crab Feast. Just I say unbelievable in the actual, definition of the word unbelievable.
Hard to believe.
It is hard to believe. He's not a fucking liar, though. All this shit happened to him. Make sure... We got a lot of... There's some dope shit going on in South Mississippi. If you live in South Mississippi, there's some people doing comedy shows. Landmassentertainment.com. Go check them out. They are putting a show on at the fucking Cypress Lounge, I think it's called.
Cypress Tap House.
Cypress Tap House.
Jesus, Pepper.
Hold on. It's on the next page. Hey, it's on the next page. They got some sick ass comedy going on. They got Aisha Renee at the Cypress Tap House Saturday, October 24th at 8 p.m. It's gonna be dope as shit. Go check it out. Cypress Tap House is truthfully one of my favorite bars.
You didn't even know what it was called 5 seconds ago.
No, it is.
Okay.
Really
Go check out Steve Cantwell on Instagram, on Twitter,
I've been
on
there
Facebook.
a bunch of times. I hang out with my friends.
Stories.
Cypress
Religions.
You're not one of my friends, so you wouldn't know about that. You stupid bitch.
People say we need a theme song, so I wrote a fucking theme song. If you like this fucking theme song, then you'll like the Rushmore Podcast. Rushmore Podcast. Rushmore Podcast. Rushmore Podcast. Fuck you.
And Cantwell, he's a Pisces girl.
How you guys doing?
Dude, we're doing fucking great. Thomas is coming in hot. Just left the world famous Celtic Irish pub, and no, that's it. It's just a pub, not a grill.
They don't even sell hot dogs?
No, they okay. They
have a fryer.
You want to hear about the menu? So,
hold
they got wings.
on. So I just walked in the door 30 seconds ago, if that, maybe.
Sure.
25.
Yeah.
My brother's telling me a story about how the local convenience store, Whaley's, definitely has aloe vera. What do you want to say?
Zane.
All right, nope, he waved it off.
All right.
He's off mic.
This is the dumbest argument that anybody's ever had. They have lidocaine patches. I bought lidocaine patches. That is...
But he has prescription lidocaine patches.
Yes, it's technically a controlled substance, and I'm not a drug dealer, so
hey, Steve.
Kick rocks. Hey, Steve.
How you doing?
Jesus Christ, dude.
How are you,
didn't
man?
deserve any of this, Steve. You're a fucking legend. You don't need to hear about lidocaine patches because you don't need them because
My life is a lidocaine patch.
What are you're like 51 and you look like this?
I don't look fit. I feel 51. I feel 60.
I'm buttoning up for Steve.
You look incredible. How old are you?
51. Born in 1969.
Okay, I was going to say, what year were you born? I don't believe you.
The best year ever.
You nailed it. God damn. Hey, do you watch The Haunting of Bly Manor on Netflix?
I don't watch almost any. I've not really seen any. The only scary movie I've ever seen is the Blair Witch Project, and I didn't know it was fiction when I saw it. But
it's a problem with Mormons.
because Mormons, like, I took all that shit real as fuck. I was afraid of the dark until I was 40, and so that shit just freaks me right, especially if I'm high.
Yeah,
because then I'll eat my own goddamn face off watching The Haunting of Bly Manor.
Mormons are gonna come up later, and there is something that I don't know. I do need to get something off my chest because I do have an experience with Mormons, and it's something that we had talked about, never ever talking about on the podcast.
Okay.
I'm ready to break my silence on this. It'll come up later, but it's a situation I had with an ex-girlfriend. And hey, turns out not everybody in the LDS is a fucking nice person.
Or a polygamist.
Yep. Turns out.
I can't fuck it. Yeah, no. I've known a lot of Mormon dicks. In fact, I knew were Mormons, so most of the dicks I know are Mormon.
Yeah, but that's the thing you always hear is like Mormons are the nicest people, and that's what I heard for years. It's like, dude, I've met 3, and they were fucking horrific people.
Yeah, and they're just like everybody else in that they are full of hate, but they mask it. It's not appropriate. I used to talk to people about this all the time when they would say that they would never admit to hating somebody.
Yep.
But they would describe all of the sensations of hating somebody, and I was like, yeah, but if you're happy when someone's sad and sad when somebody's happy, you hate them. Just fucking own it, and you'll stop wetting the bed or whatever.
And go drink a Diet Coke, pussy. Like,
yeah,
on, dude.
Loosen up and have some fucking tea.
Exactly. Thank you, dude. Have some sweet tea. We're in Georgia, goddammit. We are not. We are actually in Mississippi, the worst state in the union. That is statistically true. All right, that's all Doug Stanhope stuff. Here we are.
Hey, how was Stanhope? Was that
he
fun?
was great.
Fucking just.
He was Stanhope.
100% delightful. He currently has a pink mohawk. If you can picture that.
I thought it was red, like blood red.
It could have been
down at the compound. In Brisbane.
He gave us a tour.
He called it Brisbane too, so you're not the only one.
Hey,
it's Bisbee.
Yeah, I called it Brisbane. He gave me a fucking hard time. I was like, "Can we come down to Brisbane and watch football with you?" He was like, "Yeah, once you get the fucking name right."
Yeah, Bisbee.
But yeah, he did show us where they watch football. Whatever, Brisbane. It's Arizona. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's hot. It's dry. It's full of Mexicans.
Don't get uppity about Bisbee.
Yeah. Welcome to the Rushmore Podcast. My name's Pepper.
My name is Thomas.
This is a podcast.
My brother was showing me suit jackets that he asked me last week, did I want? And I said yes.
Oh, fuck. You're way bigger than me. I need some suit jackets.
Not way bigger.
Yes, dude.
We're about the same shoulders, yes. I have way more delts than you.
And
you're very weak. You're very small.
I'm
you're
not
very
talking
fragile.
about you. I'm talking about him.
Oh, no. Me and him have the same size shoulders.
That is physically fucking impossible.
Mine are like 11 times stronger, but same size.
Steve, you can't see Zane right now, but he played arena football for many years. He's a wide receiver, and this guy looks it's his brother.
Zane
looks absolutely nothing like him.
Pepper, ask him real quick.
Zane
stronger shoulders, me or you?
Zane is an absolute specimen.
Let's be honest.
Zane, get in the shot real quick.
Yeah, I'm out of work. Shoulders.
Oh yeah.
Who's their strongest?
Shirt off, Zane.
You could build that house you built in Alaska on those goddamn shoulders.
Stronger shoulders. What stronger shoulders?
Built for Alaska.
He probably does have the stronger.
All right.
Oh, whoa. Say that on the mic.
Listen. No, stop. All right. This is a lot of chaos so far. Everybody needs to simmer down.
Say it on the mic.
Simmer down.
Who has stronger shoulders?
We're going to get into the podcast now. Zane? All right. Let's get.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
We got chaos going on.
I'll shoulder press all you motherfuckers right now.
Welcome to the Rushmore Podcast. My name's Pepper.
My name's Thomas.
This is a podcast where we take our Mount Rushmore of any given topic, and this week we have the all-time fucking crab feast legend, one of the funniest motherfuckers on the planet, has the craziest stories that anybody has ever fucking heard, Steve Cantwell. Fucking legend. Houston, Texas.
If we're talking stories, can I give one word?
Yeah.
To describe them?
Yeah.
Incomparable.
All right. Well, you need to take a vocabulary test because the word's incomparable. But I get what you're saying.
That's what I said.
It's pretty good for the Mississippi Delta.
Yeah.
Really, I think
appreciate it.
No, Mississippi Gulf
Coast. That's what matters. Oh, here we go.
Hey, we're at the bottom.
Don't call us a Delta, mother.
Yeah, we're not the Delta. We're at the Gulf Coast, bro.
Our mud's this much cleaner. Okay.
I think we share the same mud, really.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, Houston.
Yeah.
It's very. I didn't realize that until I started watching like hunting shows that were around here. Like Houston and Mississippi, it's very similar as far as like wildlife and land.
Yeah, except for in the city.
Yeah, I mean Houston's coastal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both Mississippi Gulf Coast.
But the city of Houston might have worse traffic than fucking Atlanta.
For sure. Yeah.
It's
And
bad.
just the craziest fucking. It's like a Blade Runner of highways out there. It's just, and they're constantly changing them, and they got so much goddamn money, they'll just like pull down a freeway system and put up another arm if somebody comes up with
I'm honestly
a better
mad
idea how to get downtown. You know,
I'm honestly mad that I didn't put Houston on Mount Rushmore of shitty cities, because I did this based on experiences, and a lot of these were one-time experiences. I've been to Houston one fucking time, and I was delivering hurricane supplies from Hurricane Harvey. I was delivering hurricane supplies for my company, and I was driving an F-350 that had a flatbed trailer full of water. I don't know if anybody knows how heavy water is, but it's pretty goddamn heavy.
Yeah.
And I had a police escort all the way there, and police officers, fucking speed limits don't exist to them. So I'm driving an F-350 like 80 miles an hour all the way to fucking Houston, and you probably know this bridge. It's a steel bridge, and it's steep as shit. And
Yeah.
I was going up, and my fucking turbo hose blew. And then I got on the other side of the bridge, and I called the police escort. I was like, y'all, I think my engine just blew. I have no power. And they're like, please just try to limp it. Like we're like 2 miles away. Let's try to get there. It went another half mile. I was flooring it to get to 15 miles an hour. I had no compression at all in the engine. And then it finally just died. So at that point, we were like, well, I can spend the night in a Harvey-stricken Houston and try to get the truck fixed by somebody, which everybody's busy because everybody else just went through a fucking horrific hurricane and everybody's flooded and shit. Damn. That's a really good name for a horror movie about...
Go ahead. Sci-fi.
About
better than Sharknado.
Yes.
Tornado.
Sluts that can fly.
Yeah.
But so we ended up taking the route where we would leave the truck there and I would drive back. I ended up driving back with a local animal control officer who is one of the dumbest fucking people that I've ever encountered in my entire life.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, terrible.
Say his name.
I don't know his name.
Damn.
It had a mustache, had a cop mustache, but obviously didn't cut it to be a cop. So he was an animal control guy. They did give him a gun.
Yeah. Well, animal control is what they do with the guys that don't pass the psychological evaluation.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
I went to Houston to be on a game show.
Oh my God.
Okay. Which game show?
Celebrity Name Game.
Okay.
The host was Craig Ferguson.
Okay.
Executive producer was Courtney Cox.
Okay.
And I think probably not David Arquette. I think they were divorced.
Okay.
It's like 2016. So yeah. But Courtney Cox, I definitely met her. And and Craig Ferguson. And the whole idea is they show a face behind you, right? And your partner has to guess what face they're showing.
Okay. Is it like a silhouette or
No. It's their face.
okay?
But your partner can't see it. They have to give you like hint words,
Okay.
and you have to guess what the celebrity is.
Okay, I'm tracking.
So
It's like Match Game, but with celebrity photos.
sure.
Yeah.
So if they're showing a Guido, right?
All right. I don't know why we had to bring racism into this.
Well, this is the exact scenario I was in. And the answer is Mike, the situation,
Okay.
right? And your partner, whenever you're on the $20,000 round,
Your
says,
partner's name is Mike too.
and your
That's-
partner's name is Mike Ross.
that makes it more
And he
difficult.
says, I don't know what that word means. And the word is Guido. And the
because
producers,
it's a racist term and he's not a racist.
Yeah.
So it's
and
not
the
that
producers are saying Jersey Shore, Snooki, and we're trying to guess. And Mike, who has an inner ear from the producers that's saying Jersey Snore,
Snore. Yeah.
Jersey
it's a
Shore,
boring show.
Snooki. He's saying,
I like this role reversal of you being the drunk one and me being the.
Yeah, he's saying Guaidu. I don't know that word. Something about Jesus. And we're standing in front of him and saying, we don't know what you're talking about. Then we lose $20,000.
Yeah.
Because the word was Guido and the hint was Mike, the situation.
So I'm
Okay.
sure besides our experiences, Houston is a lovely city, but
Yeah,
Um,
fuck you.
I mean, fucking, I love it.
We
I
had to
moved here
drive-
from Hawaii.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had to drive straight back from Houston. after
that is a wild fact.
Yeah.
And you, what island did you live on in Hawaii? Hawaii.
Oahu.
Yeah.
Yeah. The most populated one, which is where Honolulu is, and Waikiki Beach, and
God,
Diamond Head Crater.
I messaged you right before this. I listened to all of your Crab Feast episodes before lunch today, and
Wow.
I mean, the things that you forget about you just because, like, and if it happened to me, it would be by far the most interesting thing that ever happened to me. But because it happened to you, you're like, oh yeah, and he also did that. It's like, oh yeah, and he also got taken hostage and robbed. It's like, oh yeah, and he also was a swinger in Hawaii. It's like, dude, it's the wildest fucking shit. Do you think that like you're some sort of like lightning rod for crazy shit? Because I do have that, like, on a much, much, much wilder scale.
Wilder scale or milder?
No, milder.
Oh, you know what? It feels like a lot even when it's happening. It feels like every time something like that happens, and like the things that I've had a chance to even talk about on podcasts, it's just like it's a tenth of the things that have fucking happened, and it just seems like one thing after another fucking happens, and it's just it'll get you down if you think about it too much. But in some ways, in hindsight, it formed all the horror. All the horror just sort of forms this tapestry of something that's interesting to talk about and interesting to look at. But it was no fun while it was happening. And every time something would happen, there was this feeling of fuck, again. And while I was religious, I thought, oh, God's testing me again. He must have something, tough in store for me in the future, or, maybe the end times are going to happen and I have to learn how to eat cats or whatever the fuck,
Learn.
So every time something gnarly would happen, I would just try to roll with it, feeling like I was being tested. But then now that I'm an atheist, I don't know it feels in some ways like if we're playing a game, I definitely bought some sort of a fucked up upgrade module or something where it's just like the experience enhancer module. Cause every fucking time I can talk to somebody in a bar, they got to tell me some goddamn fucking story about some fucked up thing, and just I get involved in business deals with people, and it's just
you're just hanging out with cokeheads, dude.
Not even just fucking people as sober as a church mouse.
Yeah,
just crazier than shit.
You're gonna go halvesies on a fucking janitorial company. I got a fucking rich mother-in-law. So for anybody listening right now that doesn't know who the fuck Steve Cantwell is, we're just, even if you do, go today before you finish this episode, go listen to the fucking Steve Cantwell episodes of the Crab Feast. That's where I found out about him, and because if I asked him some of these questions and gave like all the backstory for why I'm asking, it would take for fucking ever. So we're going into it. If you don't know, you don't fucking know. But I highly recommend everybody just go ahead and go listen to those, and then a lot of this will make a lot more sense. But the basement swimming pool is one thing that I really wanted to get into, because in Mississippi, we do not have the luxury of basements, and as you do in Houston, water table is a motherfucker. Right. So I want to know why a basement swimming pool made any sense to you in Alaska, and how, like, was it a concrete swimming pool? I don't know why I was drawn to that one, but the basement swimming pool really intrigued me. Mostly from like an engineering aspect.
So here's how it happened. I was up there, and when we got all this money from the rent from our house in Orlando, and then decided to use that money to try to build our own house. Yeah. Before we decided to build our own house, we tried to use that money as a down payment to buy a house. And a house that we actually made a contract on was this big sprawling barn of a house that somebody had built an indoor ice hockey rink in, and also a swimming pool down in the basement. And so, and my kids were in love with it. And so we were like, and we signed a contract on this thing, and basically the lady backed out. We could have made her sell it to us, but she backed out of it. Her kids threatened to go live with their dad if they sold their awesome fucking house. They were all swimmers and hockey players. The place had a kitchen that was like a restaurant. It had a full-size commercial deep fat fryer in their kitchen.
God.
So it was like, but she was going through a divorce, and we happened to know them through the Mormon church up there, and we got a kind of a sweetheart of a deal. But so we fell in love with this house, and then when she backed out, that for some reason was I didn't give a fuck about hockey, but the idea of having a swimming pool in my house, that appealed to me.
It's baller
and so,
shit, dude.
Yeah, so and this was before the internet, where you could actually Google how to do things.
Yeah,
and in Alaska, a lot of Alaska is a swamp, but the part of Alaska that I bought property on butts right up against this haunted mansion, haunted mountain called Bear Mountain, that everybody believes. There's all kinds of stories where people will see like the whole side of the mountain open up and a bunch of UFOs fly in there, and it closes. And it's right there. It's right. My house butted back up against this big national forest, so there was like nothing behind my house. But so I was like right on the foothills of this Bear Mountain, and so I could have a basement because I was up on this big old, who knows how deep the piles of gravel just deposited by ancient glaciers that have melted away. But it was the perfect place to have a basement. I not only had a basement, but I had buried a Connex trailer down. I don't know if people know what a Connex trailer is, but it's basically like a rail car. Yeah. But I buried one underneath the house, deep in the gravel that I filled with all of our Mormon end of the world shit, generators and fuel and water storage, and all Mormons have to have a 2-year supply of everything. That's part of the religion. They come over to your house every 6 months and actually do an inventory and tell you need more ketchup or whatever. And so, because they seriously believe that the end of the world will happen in all of their lifetimes. And so Mormons just get good. When we go to the grocery store, we don't buy a can of chili con carne. We buy a few cases of chili con carne and take it home and do that first in, first out thing. And we have my little brother's got a house that's got his food storage in the basement, and he has a dumbwaiter that goes up and down between. Wow. It's like a little bodega that just they own down in their basement.
Okay. So hold on. We just did a podcast with Doug Stanhope, so I'm a little drunk. But listen, I have a few things I need to. All right. So we agreed to do our Rushmore of Religions, right?
Yeah.
Why not do our Rushmore instead?
Yeah, okay.
Rushmore from Steve Cantwell of 4 things, our Rushmore of 4 things that we don't know about the Mormon religion. Because that one just hit me off guard right there. About
the food storage?
The 2 months worth?
No, 2 years.
2 years.
Oh my God.
Because the end is near.
Yeah,
I knew
not
that.
just 2 years of food, 2 years of money.
Yeah,
2 years of dishwashing fluid.
2
years of whatever medication that you take.
Uncaffeinated Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Just
how do you sort that out with your pharmacist?
I think a lot.
I don't know.
I think a lot of people.
But there's a way.
Know about the LDS.
Okay.
I think it's just you. I think it's a Mississippi thing too. They're not down here.
I've never heard that about the 2
It's too hot. It's too humid.
Yeah.
They're not down here. But
although
I knew
Jackson County, Missouri is all Mormons. That's kind of
that's like the
Adam on Diamond.
Spark. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where they believe the Garden of Eden was. Dude, was in Jackson County, Missouri.
And we're in Jackson County, Mississippi.
That is true. The LDS history, I am fascinated by it because it has been it is a very violent history, and a lot of people wouldn't expect that. And a lot of people don't fucking know about it. It's kind of like an untold story of America. It is like from start. Well, I wouldn't say from start to finish. I would say like 100 years probably of just like brutal fucking violence and persecution from everybody. They got kicked out of like 3 states before they ended up in Utah. And Utah,
well, they were a fucking sex cult. They were a low key sex cult that they would. If a bunch of Mormons moved in next to your place, you better fucking lock up your daughters because they were going to come over there slinging that Mormon dick.
They're hot.
Yeah. With
Mormons
their 2
are
years
fucking
food
hot,
storage.
dude.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
No masturbation. You're just on the knife's edge at any moment.
God, I fucking wish I could not masturbate. But
it's, you know what? If you can stop masturbating, you can stop anything.
That is true.
How many times have y'all?
Oh, can't wait for this question. Tell us. You might be a little bit too drunk for this episode.
Yeah, maybe so.
What did you do when you went to Celtic, dude?
Too much.
All right. This is usually I'm the one, especially on episode 2. I'm the one that, because I mean I fucking we
that's good.
Have a good time.
You take turns being the town drunk.
Exactly. That's what we're gonna go with. So okay. Yes, basement swimming pool, fucking. So, can you give me 10 seconds of your favorite song? Because I know it was like a big deal on the Crab Feast where they were like, you were in a cover band, and you're like, no, I'm a really good singer, and you never showcased it. I know I'm a singer, I'm a musician too. I understand. Like, this is not the best fucking place to showcase your talents, but is there any way you can give me like 10 seconds of your
A song?
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Oh, here we fucking go. We got Steve Cantwell, the motherfucking musician, and his fucking cute ass Jack Russell, who was just being a good fucking boy.
That's a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Oh, ukulele.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it sounds perfect. Yes.
Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences for so long now. Oh, you're a hot one. But you got your reasons. These things that are pleasing you will get you somehow.
Incredible. It's Toy Story guy.
Yeah, you're like Randy Newman meets fucking Nathaniel Rateliff.
All right.
Yeah,
that's close.
It was a good pull. You were looking at me like, "What's this drunk motherfucker gonna say?"
Oh,
that's
yeah, I was waiting for the second.
Yeah, that's a good pull.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
That was fantastic,
man. Yeah, so I'm glad that you weren't talking shit about that, and that was legit. And
that was really good.
Like,
that was really good.
So I swear to God, the first time I heard your shit, because I came in like pretty late on the Crab Feast, but I made a post in like the Facebook page. It was like, what are the episodes that I need to check out? And it was just like Cantwell, just fucking over and over. So I checked it out, and I was like, dude, there is no fucking way. Like, this motherfucker has to be lying. So I started like Googling shit, and I was like, okay, all right, he's got that one. And fucking, I mean, you can't Google fucking all of your shit, but like the murder, you can Google. That's definitely fucking real. And I was like, God damn, like, you know about it. You know about all of it, right? You've listened to it all.
What?
I gave you homework.
Yeah.
You did the homework, right?
Yeah.
So
he didn't.
I've definitely listened to the story. I didn't know about the murder until today. You told me like on the way here.
Come on, dude. So there was a man.
I know the Tyler, Texas story for sure.
All right. So yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
100%.
Okay. So that's 45 seconds of his life. Let's talk about. So he was in business with a man who owned half his company. That while they were working one day was just like casually like, yeah, I killed my mother-in-law for the insurance money, and you know, blah 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 blah, and it was like super scary, and I'm a bad guy. So he was like, oh, that's not chill whatsoever. I'm gonna call a private investigator to see if that's right or not.
Right.
And then turns out, guy definitely killed his mother-in-law, and he was the like lead witness in a murder investigation. And he had to get put into witness protection, and that's why he moved to Alaska for the second time.
Okay.
That's fucking accurate. That's a very good thumbnail.
Oh, dude, I like I said, I listened to all the Crab Feast episodes today. Like I know a lot of I'm super excited. All right, let's
they're making a series about this right now. There was a film crew, a funny story. So I had been talking to you guys about doing your show, and then I had also been talking to this documentary film company that was gonna do a true crime series on this. And so I was talking to who I thought was you, and we were meeting at a pub. And so I met these guys at the pub, and I said, "Hey, it's the crew." And they're like, "Hey, Steve Cantwell." And I was like, "Okay." So we have a couple drinks, and then we go, and then I say, "Well, we'll film it tomorrow."
Story.
Yeah, this is the Rushmore story.
Okay.
Oh my god!
So I think I'm having drinks with you guys because I hadn't seen an episode of your podcast, but just seeing the thumbnails and stuff, I knew you had good guests, and it was a good idea to do your podcast. But I hadn't memorized what you look like yet. So it was just two white guys that looked sort of like you having a couple of drinks in a dimly lit pub. So I had this whole conversation with them when I'm talking about, I'm working the word Rushmore into things. They're kind of nodding along. And I think I'm saying confusing shit to them, and they're saying confusing shit to me. And they're like, "Okay, we'll film tomorrow." And I'm like, "Okay." So, and by the way, and I was super flattered the fact that you guys had come all the way to Houston to do the podcast. So I was like, "Fucking A." So
that's a 10-hour drive.
So we set up, and I walked into where we were going to film it, and it was set up like a movie set. It was like, serious fucking lights and boom mics and place for me to sit, and it was lit perfectly.
Right.
And they crouched down behind these serious fucking, black magic production cameras, and they're like, and then they'll ask me questions just quietly, getting me talking about it, and then I'll talk just uninterrupted for fucking hours while they're just like, no microphone on them. And I'm like, This is the weirdest goddamn podcast I've ever fucking been on. It's just
going
like, you guys
so
ever
long.
gonna talk? Yeah.
You guys had Brad Williams on it?
I'm like, yeah. And then like a couple hours into it.
A couple hours.
Hey, how long do you think we have you today?
I thought maybe I was like, I should have fucking listened to an episode before we sat down, because nobody's laughing. They're just being fucking quiet. I'm the only one with a microphone and lights on me. And they're like, "Do you guys have a camera?" And they're like, "No. The camera's just for you." And I was like, "Okay, just new kind of podcast." I hear good things. But so a couple hours into it, I was like, "So what's your podcast about, really?" And they were like, "We're not doing a podcast, we're doing a documentary." And I'm like, "I thought you were the fucking Rushmore podcast." A lot of your questions make more sense now.
That might be the greatest moment on Rushmore podcast history.
Yeah. Well, he told us that he was messaging me, and I was like, he was like, "I have a really funny story about Rushmore." And I was like, "Oh, what?" And he was like, I'll tell it." I'm really glad you waited.
Hey.
That's ridiculous.
And I told Sickler, I texted Sickler, and I was like, "You did the Rushmore podcast?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, they drove here to do the podcast. And he's like, "That's weird. Can you see if they'll help us on this project that we're doing? Because we've been having a hard time finding a camera crew for this project that we were doing." And so I asked them, thinking that they were the Rushmore podcast. And I was like, "Hey, you guys know Ryan Sickler?" And they're like, "Yeah, we know Ryan Sickler." And I'm like, "Will you guys help us with the project real quick?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'd fucking love to." But
hey, by the way, we'd do it. We'd ride out and fucking do it.
Dude, yeah. If you asked us to, we'd fucking ride out to Houston. LA, a little bit of a stretch.
LA is a stretch.
Come on.
hey, you and I are right there. We're in the same fucking time zone.
Dude, yeah. If I had a boat, I think I'm 6 hours away. Okay?
Yeah, we'd figure it out.
Yeah, I think so. Dude, that's incredible. Well, sorry to let you down.
Hey, by the way,
it's a really big disappointment.
What
After
network?
You thought that we were an entire fucking film crew.
What
And
network is that going up on?
It's two fucking drunk dicks with a fucking like a shitty wall behind them. And
What
a
network
fucking
is that going up
laptop camera.
I'm not sure I'm supposed to say anything about it.
on? Okay, well, tell them that if you talk to them again, leave Rushmore Podcast in it.
Hey,
Yeah, leave us in it. Yeah, leave that whole section in it where you were super confused.
hey, tell those Rushmore podcasts impersonating motherfuckers that hey, they will be hearing for our lawyers. We're gonna have to get a lawyer. But they will be once we get a lawyer.
Let's wait till after they pay us, and then we can pay for.
Once we get a lawyer,
there we go.
Yeah, after they pay us, we're gonna pay for a lawyer,
It's
and they're
coming.
fucked.
it's coming. Hey,
Everybody's gonna be fucked but the lawyers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they're taking our job. We had a job with Ryan Sickler.
taking our jobs.
We had a job with Ryan Sickler, and they took it.
You had a relationship with Mr. Sickler.
Oh, and you know
And
what?
they
This
stole
all
it
makes
away.
sense because we asked Sickler like 2 weeks ago, didn't we,
That's
to
right.
come back on the podcast.
And he said, "Are
I'm
you gonna
too
film?"
busy.
Because he had a film crew. We already
Yeah.
sent our film crew.
Look,
over
I have
there.
a film crew coming in, dude. I don't have time.
He's probably pissed that you didn't drive out there and do his
Maybe
his
so.
shit live.
Yeah, he's probably
Yeah.
like, dude, these motherfuckers.
This Zoom shit. Yeah.
But no, honestly, I'll talk about it with Ron Sickler, whatever. We love Ron Sickler. We're big fans.
Oh
Fuck
yeah.
yeah. Me too.
He
I owe
was,
a lot to he and Jay.
dude, I love him to death, man. And he was one of our first big guests. We had Jeff Dennis on first from Danish and O'Neill, who we have a lot of similar, fans with.
Yeah.
Listeners, whatever you want to call them. But Ron Sickler, we both really were super stoked to have on. And we thought that while he was great, when we had him on, it didn't go as well as it could because we didn't really know how to do this yet. We had done 150 episodes with just me and Pepper talking to each other. And we had just started having guests on like 3 weeks before. So when we had Ryan on, we were like, it was good. And we loved talking to him. But this could have went way better if we knew how to do this. Like this, you know what I'm saying?
You guys get such good guests.
Thank you.
It's unheard of how good of guests you get. You scroll through who you guys get. It's the fucking 1% of comics out there.
You know what the secret is?
Incredible, the guys. And you guys just get that with persistence, or do you have an in?
I was going to say, you know what the secret is?
Do you want to
Steve?
hear the secret is?
I ask.
We ask.
I slide in their Instagram DMs.
We ask.
They're either all their
Just
gigs are
ask.
canceled because of COVID, or they're in their hotel room and they're bored as
Hey,
shit.
Anybody who's wondering our secret right now, hey, tune in. This
Or-
is what it is.
Or
Okay?
or like you've scrolled through and you're like, oh, they had Ryan Sickler, Mark Norman, and Adam Ray.
Fucking exactly.
Those are great fucking guests. I should do this show because everybody else is doing it, and that's the secret.
Yes.
But what
Once
do we
we
do?
got like the first three,
What
it
do
was
we
like,
do?
okay, now
What's
we have
the
a
secret?
resume. We have a
What's
resume.
the secret, Thomas?
We ask. Because we do, like, legitimately, though, we do have people ask us, like, in podcast
We're a
groups.
bad podcast. We're
Yes.
not good.
But, like, in podcast groups.
We shouldn't be where we're at. We're not
But,
that
like,
good.
in groups on Facebook and shit, we'll have people ask us, how do you get these guests? How do you get these people? And, like, that's the only answer we can give them is just ask. And they're fucking
Hey, that's the secret of fucking life.
dude.
It's
You know
the
how many-
secret of fucking life.
And we've had several people tell us no. And dude, I'll take a no over a no response every fucking day of the
Thank
week.
you for a no, dude.
Patton Oswalt.
The best no we've ever had.
Yeah, the most
Best no
famous,
we've ever had.
the most famous no we've gotten is Patton Oswalt say, "Hey."
No, I wouldn't even say most famous. I would say best no.
He said, "Hey, y'all have had some great guests. Sounds like a great show. I don't think it's for me. I'm gonna have to pass professionally."
And you know what?
Yes, Patton Oswalt. Hey, by the way,
You're right.
you probably would have hated this, and you're right.
We've said
And
a
who
lot
knows?
of
Who knows? He may be back. He may be, don't ask him again sometime.
Yeah, well, that's
the great
that's
thing
plan.
about podcasts, because I for years I did radio, commercial
Yeah.
radio,
Sure.
and and if you had a great show, it was gone. If you didn't happen to be fucking tuned in to KVNU that afternoon, you
Right.
just never heard that
That's it.
magic thing that I said,
That's right.
and nothing could call it back from the ether.
Oh yeah.
But now, I mean, podcasts exist outside of the space-time continuum. You guys could struggle in obscurity for
Yep.
fucking 20 years.
20 years.
And put this 10,000 volume opus together of all of these interesting comedians, and then somebody could discover that 20 years from now and go back and fucking binge watch all of that shit and be instantaneously the biggest fans you've ever had.
Steve,
you guys could have been.
do you think I'm not about to shout out the Crab Feast fan page on Facebook, the Honeydew fan page,
Yes.
the Tuesdays with Story fan page,
Yes.
the give me some more, the
Danish and O'Neill fan page.
Danish and O'Neill fan page, all of them right now, and let you send a message directly to them just so I can say this out loud, clip you with your message and clip that and put it in their fan page so they all listen to the podcast. Subscribe, by the way. Leave us a 5-star review. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck your mother. But go follow Steve Cantwell. Go to all of his fucking shows and listen to us forever. Goddamn, check out our episodes with Mark Norman, with Ryan Sickler, with Mark Norman twice.
Grapefruit Simmons.
Grad Fitz goddamn Simmons last week. What an episode. He does not have a Facebook page.
All right.
Go ahead. What's your message to those groups? The Crab Feast and Honeydew. Tell them something
Tell them something.
right now.
Well, they've all probably listened to all of my Crab Feast shit.
Doesn't matter. Give them a new message.
Watch the Rushmore podcast. Let's see if we can get those viewers up on YouTube. Don't just listen to the audio of these. You gain a lot of fucking. There's a lot to be said for being able to see people talk. So go on YouTube. Watch this shit on YouTube.
Okay. So, yes, that is a great tip. Now, we didn't even know we had a YouTube until 2 years after we started this podcast. The site that distributes the audio for this podcast started putting it on YouTube.
I feel like we're getting into the technical weeds.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
So it turns out we found out that we had a YouTube that was like auto uploading our podcast.
Yes,
and
we
then
weren't
we're
running.
Oh, sick! We had a YouTube.
So we've never looked at those views, and now we do, and it's fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sick fucking money. That's sick fucking money if you can get 250,000 people watching every episode.
Yeah.
You heard.
But you're doing the hard work right now. You're getting that huge volume of, like, I discovered the Rogan show and then watched 5 years of it within about a few months.
Yeah.
Because I was like, where the fuck is, and people treat podcasts, you say this is a bad podcast. It's not a bad podcast, and I'll tell you why. It's a very natural podcast, and people are stuck home in their own fucking houses right now, smelling their own armpits for the last 6 months.
Right.
Alone, smoking weed or drinking alone. This is a way that you can hang out with people. It's a fun hang. If you want to have a couple of drinks, unwind, hear the sound of another human speech. You don't want to watch a bunch of commercials or slick edits or what, something you could just lay back on the couch and,
I appreciate it. And I agree. Pepper he buried us.
Let's get back to Steve, dude, because people already
so much to talk about with Steve.
People already
you have fan
we're
questions?
boring as shit. Yeah, I got on it. To be honest, I got. There's only one fan question that I got that I'm actually interested in. It's a pretty dark question. This is from Brandy Neiman or Niman.
Okay.
Did he ever try to take his life in Tyler, Texas? Reality.
Well,
so in that reality,
yeah.
I never actually tried it, but I did. Unfortunately, I did plan it a bunch of times, just simply because I had tried everything as a way to try to get out of this salvia trip. I tried going back to the place on the lake where it all started. I tried just everything. I tried going back to where I was born. I just tried everything that I could think of. And I did consider killing myself, just trying as a way to force the trip to come to an end. I figure if my timeline ends here, maybe I'll snap back to where I belong in Alaska.
Yeah.
But the thing that stopped me from pulling the trigger was I didn't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't completely sure that that this was a simulation. I wasn't completely sure that this was a drug trip. I wasn't completely sure that I wasn't just fucking crazy and brain damaged because even though when I started considering that, I'd probably been there, oh God, so seriously considering it, maybe 18 months, a year, 18 months. And, you push it away, and then you just start to get desperate, and I think that's probably why fucking people do it now. I think that's probably the same kind of emotions, but the thing that kept me from doing it there is the thing that keeps me from doing it here, is the thing that everybody else should not do it too, is because you don't know. You don't know.
100%.
You don't know what happens. You can think. I thought until I was 40 fucking years old, nothing wavering, absolutely knew exactly how the world worked, where I was before I was born, what I was expected to do here, and exactly what was going to happen to me after I died. And I could not have been wronger. I was fucking in just a fucked out old sex cult, from the 1800s that had just, purchased some modicum of respectability with all the bazillions of dollars that they've milked out of stupid shit like my family for 7 generations.
For the record, you mean Mormons.
Well, the LDS shows some goddamn respect, but so
just getting that for the paper.
Did that experience instill any faith in some kind of simulation or alternate reality? Because for me, it kicked my fucking belief in alternate reality game way the fuck up. At least that, if not simulation.
Me too. I mean, simulation theory is really just religion for atheists, but where theoretical physics is the scripture, and there's not really, you can still masturbate.
Yeah,
really, but
when you frame it like that, I can see that. I didn't think of that way before you said that, but now that you frame it in that way, I can kind of see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I lean on it really heavily, because, and here's the reason I think that is many of the experiences I've had on mushrooms, just where you kind of can sense a little bit that it's a fabrication around you to a certain degree. And then also how fucking real and how fucking exactly similar Tyler was to here. It was indistinguishable in every possible way that I could think of to test it. And it was this, except for way more serendipitous things happen here than happened there. There wasn't one serendipitous thing. There wasn't one. That was the most trouble-free time in my entire span of my last, if you count the Tyler times, almost 60 years. Those 8 years are the most trouble-free that I've spent, because nothing fucking. I worked on.
You never got arrested?
For God's sake. No,
you fucking
never.
You never got into a fight.
Nobody ever shot at me. Never found a dead body. Nothing.
Here's another fan question. I can't remember who it came from. I think it was from a message. But did you get any pussy in Tyler, Texas?
Nope.
God damn, it's boring, dude.
That's
not even
you were just
not even a taste.
You're a handsome guy, man. You grow a good beard. That's a long time.
You know what? I was sad. And
you played in a cover band.
For about half of it though, I considered myself still married, and thought of it as cheating. That's such a even probably for the second half, also girls were not into me there for some reason. But
and Tyler, really,
yeah, just not at all. Which is another thing that
they wanted
off kilter about this reality.
Tweak the sound,
cows.
Yeah, chicks don't like guys that make minimum wage.
Or guys that are not animals.
Oh, you made minimum wage as a...
Almost. I made $10.25 an hour on my highest pay raise rate.
I have a question that has probably been answered, I'm sure, at some point. But how is your memory now of that trip? Like now, vividly, because you know how you forget dreams or you forget trips. How is your memory now of that specific trip?
Identical to something else that happened about that amount of time ago. So
okay,
and identical to the point where I can't distinguish. Sometimes I'll have to think for a second whether something happened, like a camping trip was in Tyler or Alaska or Utah. And it seems identical to me.
Also, how's Utah? I thought about moving to Utah. How's Utah?
Mormon, in a word.
Never
We had
mind.
to sum it up in a word.
I'm out.
Well, it's
I'm out.
it's a beautiful
Especially-
state with incredible resources. Thomas, I'll be honest, you're not an outdoorsy type. You never
Handsome, strong jawline. I know what you're
you've
saying.
never dug
Athletic.
You've
I know
never
what you're saying.
dug a goddamn hole. You've
Yeah.
never built a goddamn chicken coop. So
Smart.
It's
I don't know-
never
I
too
don't know
late,
how-
Thomas.
that is true. That is true. You've never had a hard winter in your goddamn life.
Why would I?
You're about due. It'll change your perspective on weather.
Yeah.
I agree. I think you should move to Utah.
All right. See you
You
guys
move to
later.
Alaska because they'll
Uh,
pay you to be there.
That's true too. But I mean,
Okay.
Utah's got incredible ground. Like, and I mean
Yeah.
that, like literally, like Utah, because whenever it's kind of fucked up to say, but like whenever whenever they kind of conceded Utah to the Mormons, they didn't realize like how incredible that ground was, and they were like, oh fuck, there's like precious minerals and like awesome fucking crop shit on here. Like,
Yeah.
we got
I mean,
that shit.
Lewis
now.
and Clark went through there at a dead fucking sprint, pretty much guessing what was behind most of the mountain ranges.
And I mean, if you look at it from where they looked at it, it's a fucking wasteland.
fuck yeah. It's
Yeah.
godforsaken, it's a body of salt water that's mostly dried up and it's left
Yeah.
nothing, especially the Salt Lake Valley. I mean,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's a big state, so it's just got every kind of
Yeah. It's got the plateaus. It's got the fucking I love the like the hills and mountains area where,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
where I
got
grew
fucking
up.
it's got fucking everything, dude. Do you know?
Yeah.
God damn. Okay, this is gonna be. Do you know Cody's Lab? He's a YouTube page.
No.
Okay, I will send you some of his shit. He is from Utah that grew up in that area, and he is very science. He is like he's an autistic science guy.
Serious, like he doesn't have any time for science, like he trying to fill the time that not masturbating has left in his life.
Okay, maybe
Mormon?
he's not autistic, and maybe he's just trying to. Yeah. Okay, so
I mean, we're all
he's
autistic.
a Mormon
Yeah.
science guy.
On
But
some point of the spectrum.
I'll send you some of his shit, and he lives up there. But you'd enjoy it. Yeah, we'll cut that out. But yeah, Cody's Lab. If you're into chemistry, especially, he's fucking incredible,
I'm into YouTube in a big way.
dude. He'll show you how to make a goddamn bomb. He'll also show you how to fucking clean your water. He's a good
Milk
guy.
a goat. Yeah.
Milk a, well,
All right.
not that. No. Okay. We have something in common. We have both lived in haunted houses.
I've lived
So-
in two.
Yeah. But I feel like the two that you lived in, it was more the reputation of those houses rather than them actually being haunted.
They were people saw ghosts there.
Yeah.
I
But-
didn't ever see a ghost.
Yeah, I was about to say people are also kind of retarded. They might
Yeah.
not have.
I'm a skeptic on ghosts. I used to think that ghosts were real just because that fit into my magical worldview that the Mormon Church gave me.
Yeah.
Is that the spirits of the
Is
dead
that
were all
part-
around
Is that
us?
part of the Mormon Church?
Yeah. Yeah.
It I've never heard, and this is weird for me too, because I've never heard anybody that was like a part of the Mormon Church. I don't think call it the Mormon Church.
Really? Well, I've been out for.
I've always heard
Almost a
it's
dozen
always
years.
been the LDS.
They actually would tell us, don't call it the Mormon Church. There was a big move in the 90s, call it the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah.
Just because I think they were trying to rebrand a little bit. But we're like, fuck you, man. My ancestors killed the Indians for your church. We're not gonna
Yeah.
call it whatever the fuck we want.
You guys like
Right.
some OG. Well, he is OG Mormon.
Yeah.
He's like
Well,
he,
on both sides of my family, in it from the beginning.
like slaughtered a shit ton of Indians, fought with America.
He did.
Not me.
Okay.
Not me, but
His
7
family.
generations ago.
Yeah.
Fresh off the boat from Ireland. Yeah.
Okay.
So I can tell you the story. It's kind of a fucking sad
Please.
story. But so my family joins the church in Ireland, just hearing nothing but stories about golden Bibles. So but Ireland's fucking ghastly.
Fuck
they
it.
join the church.
There's no potatoes. Let's fucking go. That was Australian. That was not Irish. But yeah, you can bet.
So
I'm Irish too. We have very similar stories for how we got the fuck over here.
Yeah. In fact, my family, because when you came to America back in those days, if you were headed to the west, especially, there was no Ellis Island, there was no railroad, so you took a boat into Louisiana. So that's where my family emigrated into
Spain.
Got out of the boats, poor as fuck, didn't have any money for a team of horses or whatever the fuck. So they built these big push cart, essentially, like you would see people selling apples out of on the street corner in New York City. But they put all of their luggage in it, whatever they had, and the family, together with other families that had also built push carts, pushed these push carts just where there was no road, where nobody had ever been, just basically in a westward direction, and trying to find Salt Lake City, which Brigham Young had just only recently declared that was the place. So they get out there, his whole family, lots of people died. My family was a member of this terrible kind of like the Donner Party, but for Mormon handcart companies. Yeah. And they called the Martin Willie Handcart Company. And they, hundreds of them die. They give fucking smallpox or whatever. But my family makes it to Salt Lake. Okay, builds their first little cabin out of sod. He has this idea for a kind of chimney that nobody's ever had before, and he's always wanted to try it. So he builds it in this little sod house. The first night that they have a fire in there, it catches fire.
No.
And it burns their fucking house down.
Oh my god!
And it kills his wife.
Oh
and
my
so
god.
and they had just had a fucking baby, and so he's got like 8 kids, and he feels like
and he's got one that he can't feed.
Yeah, he's got all of them he can't feed, and he's just grief-stricken because I have all these people's journals, because we're commanded to write a daily journal. And so, he feels like he just got his wife killed, and he can't deal with the grief, and he just has kind of a full fucking mental breakdown to the fact where he just stops taking care of his kids, and he just can't fucking cope. And so Brigham Young takes his kids away from him and puts them in these different families, whoever can have one more mouth to feed. And he just wants to kill himself, but Brigham Young convinces himself with Brigham Young that rather than die by his own hand and go to hell, he should go north and fight this big Indian war, that's going on in the valley to the north, and die in the service of his God. So with full thought that he's going to die, and with nothing but a stone axe that he'd come across the plains with, he hikes it up to Cache Valley to join into this raging Indian battle, and doesn't die. They end up.
God, what a fucking gangster, dude! Like, so, can you imagine coming up over a ridge with a fucking piece of shit stone axe, and holding that axe as if like I'm about to fuck some people up with this thing.
I'm about to die. Not even
die. Just
no, not even, because you don't walk into a battle being like, oh well, I'm about to die, because you would never go. You walk into a battle being like, I'm about to fuck some fucking people up, and you got a stone axe. You got a rock tied to a piece of fucking
unless you're willing to sacrifice yourself for the cause.
But then you would he wouldn't die. That's what I'm saying. Like you don't come into a battle saying like I want to die, and then come out of a battle being like, well, it didn't die. That is, if you want to die, that is your place to die. You can go die there very easily. You can just like basically walk up in front of an enemy and be like, yo, want to die, and then it'll be like, sick, boom, you're dead. So I mean, he went into a battle with a weapon that was shit, like confident. And there was a point where he came over a ridge and was like, this is fucking it, dude. And he went and fucking wrecked shit. That's sick as fuck.
he walked into the woods where nobody'd ever gone before with nothing but a fucking stone axe.
That's so
He's
sick.
fucking crazy. He joined a crazy religion.
Yep.
In Ireland, hearing nothing but stories about a gold Bible that a 14-year-old found. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's the craziest part of the goddamn story. Fuck the stone axe. That's a long way to sail on a rumor.
That's true. Yeah. Hey, well, my people sailed some shit on some rumors too, but different rumors. But it's okay. We're all 10. We're all kind of a little bit stupid. A little bit stupid. It's fun. But yeah, that's fucking wild, dude. But like, that's pretty. I wish my genealogy was like that. Like my people came over. It's like potatoes got fucked up, so we came over to America, and then we just got treated like shit for a little while, and then like everything was fine. Like
if they would have all kept a daily journal, I bet it would have been some harrowing fucking shit.
You're probably right.
Because the world was not gentle back then.
You're probably right. But the Irish retards that came over here and made me couldn't write, couldn't read. So it's just it's all lost. So I wish they were Mormon. But
hey, but look, you made it. You're here.
I did, and now I have the number one podcast in the state of Mississippi, the Rushmore Podcast, and we have Steve Cantwell right now. God damn it, I'm fucking excited. I'm gonna skip black licorice. I'm gonna skip.
He has notes.
Where did I talk about black licorice?
Oh, you almost died on a plane. You almost died on a plane, and I recently found out that it's toxic. So I was gonna talk about that, but hey, let this just be a public service announcement.
Steve, if you got time, we got time.
Yeah, let's just make this a public service announcement right now. Don't eat a shit ton of black licorice. It will fucking kill you. Like it's toxic. It's legitimately.
Yeah,
Thomas,
over
you're
2
finding
ounces over the age of 40 is considered by the FDA toxic.
Yeah, there was a guy in England who recently died.
Yeah.
So everybody watch the fuck out for that shit. Black licorice is it's gross. You shouldn't eat it. It tastes like something you shouldn't eat, and then also you shouldn't eat it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Somebody asked what kind of music you listen to. I assume it's like classic rock kind of standard stuff.
You know what I listen to? I listen to this DJ called DJ Cumberbund on YouTube. Check that out. And also a DJ by the name of Girl Talk, particularly the All Day album, especially the video mashup on YouTube.
So is this like some EDM or?
No, it's mashups of hip hop and 80s rock and it's hard to explain. It's fucking.
I remember,
genius,
I remember Redband telling Rogan about Girl Talk back in like 2008, 2009. Is that right?
Yeah, it's the shit.
Yeah. He used to love Girl Talk. He used to talk about it constantly.
Yeah, it's goddamn amazing.
Right. Well, I hope everybody goes and checks that out. The last listener question I have. This is one of my questions. I'm a listener, and I have a question. Have you ever thought or actually done? Have you ever written your old business partner? Like, have you had any communication with them?
Zero. Though that documentary film crew is out there trying to interview him right now and trying to set it up for me to go have a face-to-face meeting with him.
The one you thought was Rushmore?
Yeah.
Hey,
dude, tell him to hit us up. We'll go talk to him.
We ain't no goddamn.
Tell him to hire us. We'll go holler at him real quick.
That would be actually pretty sick.
It all comes full circle.
God damn. So they're doing a rush. They're not a Rushmore. They're doing a documentary about the murder.
Yeah, they're doing a Rushmore podcast.
They're doing a documentary about the murder, not the other fucking. Because, like, to be honest, if I had to do my Mount Rushmore of Steve Cantwell stories, that would be probably
number 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say number 3. I would say the craziest thing is the fact that you lost your house in Orlando and then moved to Alaska and then just started building a house and be like, fuck it, we'll figure it out. And then the swimming pool and then everything else. and then the guys working on your house died in a mountain accident, which is fucking tragic. And then you ended up with like is there any way you can send me like a couple pictures of your?
I think I posted the pictures that I have had of us building the house on my Twitter page fucking years ago, and I think some people might have driven by it and taken pictures of it from like Crab Feast fans and posted them to Twitter somewhere, so they exist. But it would be I would love to go there and see how much of the original house that they kept, because it was unlike anything you'd ever been in before. It was there was a domed fresco, really high ceiling that went down the hallway to the bedrooms that looked like clouds and blue sky that we'd done in plastic.
So fucking sick.
And
that's what I love about that house.
And the walls looked like old brick.
Oh my god!
If you go to the Bellagio or something like that, it looks like you're outside, but you're actually inside. Yeah. That's what we did for the hallway that went down the hallway to our bedroom.
Needs to be documented, because it's like, just from your descriptions of it and no pictures, like it sounds like the sickest fucking house ever. Like the bitch had a fucking
sick
dude, and you did it. You did it with no knowledge of how to do it. You just figured it the fuck out, and that's what I love about it the fucking most. Because you're just like, okay, so we need to do this, this, and this. And let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Yeah. And I know I do shit like that, so I know, like, as you go, you learn these little tiny details that make what you're doing fucking vast. Like, it could save you a day, like the shit that you learn in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
As far as like production shit. And
God.
Yeah. You just keep going. And then by the end, dude, you probably could have built 4 of those fucking houses in a quarter of the time that you built the first house in.
Yeah. For half the money, probably, too.
Yep. And half the money.
But you know what? Half the fun, too. Because I'll tell you something, dude. I had no mortgage, so I had no bank looking over my shoulder. Alaska, that part of Alaska, they did not require any kind of building permits. So I did not have to have blueprints of any kind. So I built that like a fucking treehouse.
So you had a well, right?
Yeah. Well, we had a bunch of neighbors that we all had a kind of a community well that we piped into and shared the expenses from it. But I ran the super deep 1-inch insulated water line. I dug the fucking trench. I rented the scariest fucking link belt excavator that they had at the fucking tool rental store, and just taught myself how to drive it, and just dug a fucking trench and laid that water pipe by myself.
You had 1 inch going into the house?
Yeah.
Wow. So you guys had excellent water pressure.
Excellent water pressure. I put electrical leads all the way along it, so I could basically plug in an arc welder.
Yeah.
If the line ever froze, because it got crazy fucking cold in Alaska.
Whoa, hold on. So that's all right. Back the fuck up. So that's how you got around.
So yeah, you run an electrical line.
Yeah.
Down.
I've never heard this.
You put it right at the junction box, and then you put the other end, so you can just basically put an electrical charge through
the junction box is by the well output.
By the well. Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then,
yeah, okay. So you would arc weld the fucking, but over like a distance. So you would put 220 like unregulated through.
I had a little buzz box welder. And I would just put the ground on one side and the lead on the other, and just slowly turn up the resistance until, to the amperage until the water started to flow.
Holy shit!
You just use that giant long piece of copper as a huge resistor, and the heat melts the. Okay,
so you're using copper pipes. We're not using like PEX or fucking shark bite or any of that fucking gay ass shit that I fucking hate.
Copper pipe, specifically because I wanted to be able to try this idea of of making it melt like that.
And it worked.
It worked.
You're an innovator, dude. Like I would have never thought of that shit.
I didn't think of it first, but you start asking around about good ideas, and if you're doing it yourself, really the only expense is the materials, and that's fucking nothing. So if you're putting the labor in by yourself,
I don't know, man. Like
70% of the cost of building a house is labor.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess. So
everybody out there should build their own house. It's not that fucking tough.
That's the message.
There's a lot of things that scare me, but now that you say that, like now that you make that groundbreaking statement, 70%.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. I mean, yeah, you're probably right.
You go buy a piece of property, you go move someplace where you can get places out there, you can get an acre of property for fucking $1,000.
Dude, hey. Hey, keep it a secret, but Mississippi, hidden gem.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks down here. Hey, if you wanna build a trailer on the swamp, hey, show up, dude.
Yeah,
we got you, dude.
And you'll have a feeling about whatever kind of a shithole that you build that's stronger and firmer than any house that you could buy from a professional home builder. Because behind every window, every door, every board, you remember like your son helping you with this little part. I remember those guys that died. I remember them forever just on just remembering the ways that we built the house, and you'd see their handwriting places, and it was magic. It was a kind of magic.
It was rough, man. Like when, like it was just an entire family taken away in one accident. That's pretty fucked up. But like all that shit, man. Like that, I swear to God, I'm not saying this like, being what's the word?
Facetious.
Nope, the other one. Where we're trying to hyperbolic. All that shit has led me to where I'm now, where I'm going to create my own floor plan. I'm going to use whatever the fuck materials that I want to. So I kind of want to build. I want to build a concrete block house, and everybody's telling me that it's stupid and you shouldn't do it. And I don't see any reason, like scientifically, why you shouldn't do it. So I'm probably just gonna fucking do it, and I'm just gonna do whatever I want to, and I'm gonna build my house. I'm gonna do basically all my own labor, and it's gonna work out. I mean, there's no reason why it wouldn't work out.
You know what I would build if I were you? What? This is what I would do if I'm gonna build it again. I would go to the Army surplus store and get a big cargo parachute, and then I would attach that cargo parachute to a concrete slab, and then I would put a air mover in the inside of the parachute and inflate it, and then go on the inside of it and have a spray foam truck come and spray the inside of the inflated parachute with expandable foam insulation. And then I would come out, and then I would have a gunite truck come and shoot a bunch of gunite against the now rigid and expanded foam now parachute with rebar in there, and then decorate the inside. It would be a super insulated fucking dome, bulletproof dome that the wind couldn't get underneath the edges. It'd be like a hardened goddamn fucking bunker, and then just plant grass put dirt and grass over the top of it. It would look like that place where the Teletubbies live.
Yeah. What are you talking?
You could do that in a weekend.
I'm super into that. I have a very specific floor plan. I have very specific bathroom specifications. Other than that, let's fucking go. I like that idea more than any other idea that I've been fucking offered. And honestly, like why are we building houses out of wood? Like wood fucking sucks, dude.
150 years ago, Pepper, we all built our own houses. Your ancestors we built our own houses. You just, that's how you took the measure of a man. What kind of a fucking cave could he put together?
He has journals of that shit.
I get it. But we're here now.
You could do it. You have the some knowledge of the entire civilization in your fucking phone.
Yeah, you're right, dude. I could fucking do it. I'm a strong boy.
Pussy.
You should do it.
Not
just could, but you should do that.
I should. I will.
Because then when you have it built,
I have property.
You own it. You don't, and there's no goddamn mortgage. Imagine living rent-free for the rest of your life.
Yeah, Steve Cantwell's giving me a bonus.
Lessons, bro.
I'm never gonna lose.
We learn lessons every episode.
Yeah, no, I have property. Yeah, no, I'm my
Doug Stanhope told us if you're gonna kill kids, there better be a punchline. He told us if you're gonna build a house, you better not have
my
a rent.
chest is more inflated than it's been in a while. I've been taking testosterone pills.
Yeah,
we're fucking Steve Cantwell. We're gonna build a goddamn house, and I'm gonna hit you.
I'm telling you, dude.
I'm gonna learn from, dude. And the thing that I love about, this is the thing that I was gonna get to after everything that we went to. The thing that I love about doing shit like that is you have a knowledge of mistakes that is unmatched by anybody probably in Alaska. Because you did more outrageous shit than anybody in Alaska. So you could tell shit to people, to builders in Alaska, that they would be like, well, I didn't know that. I love that.
I could probably make a lot of professional builders laugh just off of the shit that I've done, the dumb mistakes. If there's ever some professional contractors union, I've got an hour for you. I'll regale you about black mold problems that I caused with an indoor swimming pool.
Now that you say that, I will seek that out. I got a buddy who owns a home inspection company that posts like crazy shit. Now that you say that, I will seek that out. And I will try to find
dumb mistakes.
Dude, that's, oh my God. All right. You guys ready to get your goddamn
Yes.
This might be our longest episode of all time, by the way.
Good.
Steve Cantwell is just the fucking best. He deserves, I don't even know how let's get. I have no idea. I don't know how to check how long we've been going. We've been going for a fucking while. This week we are doing our Mount Rushmore of Religions.
Yep.
Can't fucking wait. So the way we do this, I do my number 4. He does his number 4. You do your number 4, and we just basically circle down to our number 1.
Yep.
My number 4 on my Mount Rushmore of Religions is Scientology. I find it fascinating. I don't know a ton about it. I don't think it would be. It's not for me, for sure.
Yeah.
But I like it. I like their moxie.
Yeah. Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like their leader, David Miscavige.
Yeah.
I think so.
I like just the ruthlessness of him. Just like he seems to understand that a religion that lacks the ability to take everything from you probably can't also save your soul. He's like, he understands that principle, and he's willing to go harder in the paint than even fucking L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, that's what I like about a religious leader. I respect their ruthlessness. That's what I look for.
It's a ruthless goddamn business.
It is. Hey, if you haven't thought that I've never considered starting a church, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm not smart enough for it. I'm not charismatic enough for it. But I understand the business model, and it.
Yeah, the business model is basically you create a club where it's against the rules to do something that your biology wants you to do, and you take notice of the people that are willing to deny their own biology, because those are the people that are also willing to give you their money.
Like, you could buy like an 8-page book and figure out how to start a religion.
Hey, fucking Joseph Smith did. I'm not completely sure he can read or write.
You're whispering when you say that, and I understand that, but you're right. You're right.
My number 4 is robotology
Oh.
Oh.
All right.
from Futurama.
Can't wait to hear this shit-faced account of robotology.
Robotology
All right, well, speak better, you drunk piece of shit.
is a religion led by the Reverend Lionel Preacherbot.
So you didn't take it seriously at all, and I appreciate that.
It was known to have many customs.
All right, like name one, bitch.
Sinners
All right.
were collected by the robot devil. As to spend eternity in robot hell, which is located in
I left the microphone covering my ass.
which was located in Newark, New Jersey.
You wrote this on the way over from the bar, didn't you?
Kind of. Google it.
So, all right. So
All right.
all right. Steve, what's your number 4?
Number 4,
On
for
your
all the
Mount
reasons I
Rushmore
mentioned before,
of religion.
is Mormonism.
Really? That's number 4.
Yeah, and I'm not saying, listen, none of these things on my list are good for people. I don't think that religion is good. I think that it cheats people out of their perceptions of reality, which might be the only real thing that there is in the world.
Okay.
And I think that it's evil incarnate. However, as evil religions go, Mormonism is, nowadays pretty dialed in and pretty benign compared to the, fuck show that was going on in the 1800s.
Yeah.
So,
I
just
agree.
by sheer fact that kept that, their, lacy tapestry of bullshit is so good that it has kept my family completely enchanted for 7 generations. Like I'm the only one that escaped. So that's a pretty deep sack, and you got to respect that.
Do you ever think that they might be right and you made the wrong decision?
I mean, I went through a phase like that, and I bet I bet when I find out I'm gonna die, I'll have some thoughts like that. But
Message me, dude. We'll be fine.
Yeah. So, but no, there may be a God somewhere, but he is definitely Mormon, and he definitely doesn't give a fuck if I masturbate.
That's true.
So, and he definitely didn't want me wearing magic underwear all the time and going on a 2-year mission riding a fucking bicycle and not, just spend all of my energy every day not masturbating.
So we kind of touched on this. Is there a specific reason why you call it Mormon and not LDS? Is it just?
It's just how I think of it.
Is it the way you were brought up and like you guys called yourselves Mormon?
Yeah, and I think church members to this day still call themselves to each other Mormons.
So that's like a Salt Lake thing. So like the only Mormons I was in contact with, it was in Georgia, and Mormon was like the N word for Mormons. And it's like no, dude. Hey, it's the LDS. It's the LDS.
Right.
So that's branding.
Yes, and the reason we do that, especially in the South, is because Mormons are thought of as a cult, and we want to get the word Jesus Christ in there, so that people even though our Jesus Christ,
it is the N word.
Yeah. But I spent some time in Orlando, and I actually got married.
That's not in the South.
Atlanta.
That's not in the South. Atlanta's the South. Orlando is not the South.
Yeah. So we went out of our way to say the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Mormon. They would caution us almost on a monthly basis not to stop saying Mormon. But we
like in my experience, it was like if you said Mormon, they would like correct you immediately and be like LDS or Church of Latter-day Saints or whatever. It was a big deal. So like every time you say Mormon, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Like even though I'm not connected with it, just because I all right. So here's my whole fucking deal. This is gonna be.
My number 3 is Robonica.
I got a piece so bad. Also,
Robonica.
Robotica.
Yeah, from Futurama. Have you watched Futurama or no?
That was your last one.
No.
What was the one?
My number 4 was the other Futurama holiday. This one's Robotica.
Okay.
Traditions. You ready for the traditions?
Yeah.
Not working.
Okay.
Drinking alcohol.
Okay.
Doing a robot breakdance.
Okay.
Lighting 8 beer bottles like candles.
Okay.
Carving industrial barrels like jack-o'-lanterns.
Okay.
Making paper robot cutouts.
Okay.
Watching fembots wrestle in petroleum oil. When they celebrate in 3010, the fembots' names were Ruth and Esther. That's the fiction in the future.
All right.
What's your number 3?
My number 3. Catholics.
What?
It's the OG. They made the successful transition from the idol worshiping Romans to the idol worshiping Christians, and have had a 2,000-year-old Reich of religious dynasty. They just. I'm not Catholic myself, but I went to the Vatican and toured it, and I was just fucking blown away. It's just they were goddamn bloodthirsty, and they've done horrible things. But if you want to say, are they a successful religion? Like, did they successfully enslave mankind? Did they successfully brainwash people? Did they successfully line their pockets with the, pennies from widows? Yeah, they did all that for 1,000 fucking years.
Part. Yeah.
The pedophilia wouldn't make the top 100 list of the shitty things that they've done over the last 2,000 years.
Is fucking kids worse than beheading people?
My name's Pepper, and it's not a big deal. Fucking kids is cool.
Oh, no, I'm not Catholic, bro. And hey, my number 3 might surprise you, so perk the fuck up, okay?
2.
All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Judaism.
You're on number 2.
Take that, bitch.
His number 2 is Judaism.
All right.
Why?
Because they're cool.
All right.
Hey,
great.
You know what? My number 2 was also Judaism.
Hey,
Boom.
You know what? Insane. My number 2 is Judaism also. What's your number 1?
Really? That's fucking weird.
Jews are sick as fuck, dude. Like, it's a weird, like, there's so much.
Go Mel Gibson, right? I got to pick.
All right, stop. All right, there's so much that I don't understand about Judaism. Because I don't know. I guess you got a B1 thing. Like, yeah. I really, really, really want to do a podcast where it's like Ask a Jew. Because, like, I want to find out. Because I never grew up, like, in Columbus, Georgia, where I grew up. Like, we had no Jews. I didn't know. I thought Jews were, like, fake for, like, probably the first 15 years of my life.
Mythological.
Yeah. The first Jew that I met was a rabbi that we cut grass for. And he was fucking super fucking nice guy. Like, one of my favorite customers that I've ever worked for. He was fucking super nice. The way if he ever wanted anything done, he explained it fucking like super well, which is what I like. He was a fucking super awesome guy. And yeah, like Mississippi, there's not a lot of Jews in Mississippi, but it just seems like a fucking sick ass religion. And they got like a club going on. I like it.
The Mormon seminary, they would every year have a Jewish rabbi come in and teach one semester, essentially, about the Jewish religion, because they weren't threatened by the Jews, because Mormons believe the Jews are the chosen people, and Jews don't proselytize. Jews won't go and try to get other people to join their religion.
That's one of the sickest things about them. It's like they just, like, they're not trying to get you involved. They're just they're just doing whatever the fuck they're fucking doing. They're fucking doing it. And they're fucking minding their own goddamn business, and I respect the shit out of that.
Yep. My top 2 on my list are on my list because as a religion, as part of their religion, they encourage skepticism.
Me too.
which I think is fucking refreshing. Judaism is 5,000 years old, give or take, and it's the most stable religion on earth because it does not, it is not a parasite on the people who practice it. It only gives advantage to people who practice it. They don't take anything; they only give, and there's no, you can be an atheist Jew, you can be. You're encouraged to ask questions and disagree, and when it's not a religion for you, it's a culture. And so it's hats off to them, really.
Yeah, it's sick as fuck, dude. I respect the shit out of it.
What's your number one, Pepper? We all had the same number two.
Is that's where we're going?
Yeah.
No.
Number one. You had 4, 3, 2. What's your number one?
No, I never mentioned Buddhism. Buddhism is up there.
Is that your number one?
That's my number 2.
Well,
that's the only one.
You're irrelevant. I have not mentioned Buddhism.
Yeah, I know. But your number 4 was Scientology. Your 3 was Latter-day Saints. Your 2 was Judaism.
Don't tell me how to do my own goddamn.
All right. So he's naming 5. Sorry, Steve.
That's not true. I have 4.
Yeah, but you already named Scientology, LDS, and Judaism.
That ain't Scientology?
Idiot. Yes, that was your number 4.
Oh, yeah.
We had a whole conversation about
sucks.
him. You
yeah, you're right.
Idiot.
So my number 1 is Buddhism.
Jesus.
Because
my number 1 is Christianity, Steve.
It's fucking sick.
Fuck him.
That sucks.
God damn. What's your number 1, Steve?
Steve's 2 behind.
Simulation theory.
That's a religion.
Simulation theory is your number 1?
Hold on. Shh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So simulation theory is how mathematicians deal with the reality that we're all going to die someday. Really, religion is just an answer for how we deal with the knowledge that we're going to die someday.
That's
and
true.
how you make sense of that, and how you try to be brave on your deathbed. And physicists have the same worry. And reality theory is basically what they think is going on. They think that this is a simulation or a hologram, and they believe that they can prove it mathematically. And so, in simulation theory, math becomes the scripture, and scholarship becomes the scripture. Doubt is encouraged as part of the discerning of what's really going on here. And it seems to me to be the most benign religion of all, because there's no division of culture, there's no division of race, they don't ask for anything, you don't have to contribute, it's not organized in any way, that everything is vetted in fact and can be proven or not proven and can be discussed either way.
Yeah.
It's just, I think that is the religion of the future.
Year 2822. Steve Cantwell says, mathematics is the scripture. 4:15.
Yeah.
Nope, it doesn't start with I'm waiting on you to read the scripture.
Sorry, dude. That was
I was setting up a fucking movie trailer.
Yeah, well,
It gave me nothing.
sometimes movie trailers are retarded and they should be kept to them. The creator.
That's why the
self.
theaters are closed.
All right. So here's a thing that I've kind of struggled with like my entire life. I really and honestly don't give a fuck like what happens when I die. And I know I've found that is unique. So how do you feel about that?
I don't want to end. I want to continue. I don't want there to be a time that there ceases to be a Steve Cantwell. I would rather be in
I agree
hell
with you, by the way.
than not exist.
I agree with you on that point. Just me personally, I don't and I've talked to people and this has like blown their mind and they have thought that I'm lying, but like if I die, I die. I don't know, and I don't. If there is more, sick, dude. That's so fucking awesome. If there's not, fuck. Well, gave it the best shot.
Do you ever think that you died in Tyler, Texas, and it puts you here at Rushmore Podcast?
When I was in Tyler, I wondered if I died
Sure.
in Alaska. I thought maybe that this was the spirit world, or because the Mormons believe that the spirit world looks just like this world, except for it's just where spirits live. And so I was thinking maybe I'm in the fucking spirit. I had time to have every possible opinion about it, but yeah.
Man, that story just gives me the
goosebumps.
Because like you said, it was 8 fucking years, and you were alone for 8 fucking years, other than your friends and shit. But that is like you know what's going on, and you're the only one. So you're basically a schizophrenic in a normal world, and you can't talk to anybody about this. That is your own personal prison. You are the only one who knows what's going on, and nobody else knows. And anybody you talk to about it thinks you're fucking crazy. Like that is, I think so. This is a hot take. It's a hot take, but that just imagine that schizophrenics in this world, in this reality, are transplants from like other salvia worlds, and they're just normal fucking people.
There could be bleed over between worlds. If a little bit,
it would be
salvia
weird
is
if it
enough to
wasn't.
jump you there in reality.
Yeah.
Just the slightest amount of change in your brain chemistry would be enough to like merge the fucking streams.
If Tyler, Texas is fucking, and that's what I call your story. Like I use that as like the jump off for like a whole, like a shit ton of theories. But like if Tyler, Texas is what it is, then I mean that could explain a shit ton. As far as like interdimensional shit, like it doesn't explain how you get there, because I don't think, like, we can both agree salvia is not a fucking precision fucking time machine or fucking interdimensional tool. That is a fucking throw a numbered ball in a thing and spin it around.
But you know what, Pepper, there is a place for it, and I think that is with terminally ill people. If they ever find a lump underneath my armpit and tell me I got 6 months to live, I'm gonna stop by and get a fucking pound of salvia, and I'm just gonna live 1,000 lifetimes in the next.
Have you
6
ever
months.
tried it again?
No, I would never try it again.
No.
Yeah.
Unless I was dying, and that was the only way that I could achieve life.
Yeah.
Is by the dilation of time inside my own head.
And see it.
And
Judging by your thought of your own past at the time, do you think if you were terminally ill and you took it and you went on another trip that was very similar, would you be aware that you were on a terminally ill trip?
Yeah.
I think now that I've experienced it once, I think I would be much calmer and be able to relax into the fact that I was having a salvia trip that might last 30 years. And I would just be, it was the thinking that I was crazy part. And thinking that I was brain damaged. That was all of the hell. I mean, if I would have known it was a salvia trip, I might have run through there like Grand fucking Theft Auto. I might have duct taped a ball peen hammer to both hands and just gone to the Walmart and started doing windmills.
That's awesome.
But it's too real. Like, who fucking knows that if you die, that's what me and a coworker were talking about today. Who fucking knows if you die in that world, like what happens? Because somebody said, like, did you ever consider suicide? It's like, how risky is that, dude? Like, how risky is that?
And it might have gone, just because the whole thing in reality lasted 45 seconds, so it just might have all gone black for 15 seconds, and then I would have probably woke up on the gunroom floor just the same.
So here's my whole deal with salvia. I've heard your story, and I've heard my friend's story. Here's my friend's story. They smoked salvia, similar to you, and then we watched them fucking seize out, and they came back, and they repeated the words, "I was dead, I was dead, I was dead," over and over and over for fucking 5 minutes. And we were like, what do you mean? It was like everything was like the color of like a old school movie theater or something, like a old school like nicotine stained movie theater screen. Everything was like that color, and I was just dead. I didn't exist. And I know 2 people that happened to. So
Yeah.
that's the other thing that can happen. And they were like they have PTSD over that. Like they're fucked up. If you bring up that shit, they're like, dude, I don't want to.
Dude, Ari Shaffir on YouTube has that like terrifying fucking trip where Brian Redband had to bring him back.
Yeah,
and he was having a hard fucking time.
He was a fish. He was a salamander, or the salamander Shaffir.
Dude, to say that experience ruined my fucking life is an understatement. I walked into that gun room, a Mormon preacher, and 45 seconds later was an atheist and wanted to sell my house and my business that I had built and move to Hawaii and buy a sailboat. You know, I was just completely changed by those 45 seconds, and nothing in this world could handle the fucking velocity change of that. Everything else, just the entropy of just going from Mormon and not masturbating to just, wanting to run naked on the fucking beach, was it all burned off like fucking smog on a hot day.
I couldn't.
And dude, if you knew how many times I masturbated to that story you told.
Yeah, but the thing that he doesn't understand, a lot of other people don't understand, is like the fact that like being a dad and having that much of a fucking 90-degree turn just out of fucking nowhere, like that's fucking traumatizing for kids. Like Like you can't.
My kids still talk about it.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Well, dude, it seems like you fucking made it out on the other side.
See.
Fucking fantastic. We're in Houston now. We're fucking doing dope shit.
You're on the Rushmore podcast. You might be on Netflix. Who fucking knows? We don't know who's producing this shit anymore.
I said, everybody go fucking hit up Steve Cantwell on Twitter, on Facebook.
You got anything else we can plug?
No. I mean, comedy's largely shut down. I may be doing 2-3 shows a week, and not touring at all. Not really doing anything big. Just basically trying to keep those skills sharp. So that when it does open up, I built myself a kind of a little tour van, and just getting ready for when it opens up again.
And you are like funny as fuck. Like you can, I haven't seen a shit ton of your stand up.
I'm glad that you reached out to me. I'm glad that we did this.
Oh, dude, you're incredible. Like there's God, I mean, this podcast go on for another 6 fucking hours.
You have to know that no matter what you've done so far, you have created like this legend of yourself.
But I
in the comedy world.
I also don't think that like. You have probably another half of your life to go.
That's what I'm saying. That doesn't even make you. Also, that doesn't even make you. And you're known for these stories. It's like, hey, by the way, all these people that love this legend of Steve Cantwell, I have 10 more fucking stories to go with this.
Oh yeah, that too. Like there's a bunch of stories but you can take this shit and just fucking go. And more crazy. There's no way that nothing crazy is going to happen to you in the next 10 years.
Dude, I could tell you crazy fucking stories.
Yeah,
I could tell you shit. Anyway,
the craziest story.
Steve, you will be a repeat Rushmore.
I appreciate that.
We have to. Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could probably do like.
And I can assure you, I would say if you had to bet Vegas odds on the next episode, I will be far more sober and Pepper will be far more drunk, because this might be the first time ever I've been the drunk one out of us 2 on the podcast.
But this is the drunkest that I've ever gotten.
No, not even close.
Just kidding.
By the way, he hasn't even brought up the Imperial Japanese. That's another episode.
That's a lie, and that's fake. And the Imperial Japanese were
I love you, Steve.
Genuinely bad people.
Love you, Steve.
And I wish they never.
Love you.
Love you.